And now the latest on the heartbreaking case the whole world's been watching, a father's fight for his son. David Goldman has been battling for some 5 years to bring his boy Sean home from Brazil. You may have heard this past week the case was before the courts again. What you haven't heard is all that was happening behind the scenes. Tonight, in a Dateline exclusive, we take you inside David Goldman's struggle. We are with him on what's been an agonizing journey. Here is my Today Show colleague, Meredith Vieira.
David Goldman is an all-too-familiar passenger on this continental leg between Newark, New Jersey and Brazil. But he couldn't help hoping that just maybe this trip to Rio de Janeiro would be his last.
Maybe the end is getting closer.
Dateline was traveling exclusively with David last week as he flew to Rio with the intention of finally bringing home his son Sean.
Just come home. Let him come home.
David has been fighting for Sean's return since 2004, when his wife took their then 4-year-old son on a vacation to her native Brazil and never came back. Sean's mother later died, and yet her family and second husband insist that after so much time, the boy belongs with them.
I just need help.
The story ignited an international firestorm when David first shared his anguish with Dateline in January. How much do you miss that little boy?
I miss him every second of every day, and in my sleep.
Bring Sean home now! Bring Sean home now!
Offers of assistance poured in from even the highest levels of government. And yet months passed and Sean was still in Brazil. Then last Monday, an astonishing turn of events. A Brazilian federal judge had ordered Sean's return. David was on the next available flight.
A federal level judge wrote 82 pages explaining why my son needs to be with me.
David and his attorneys have argued that by not returning Sean, Brazil is violating an international treaty that governs parental abduction. Now, after nearly 5 years of legal wrangling, Sean's case had apparently come to an airtight conclusion. The right to live with and be raised by one's father is a fundamental element of human dignity, wrote the Brazilian judge. After so much anguish, things were finally turning David's way. He even got a better seat on the plane.
I got an upgrade. Never happened to me before.
The judge's order said David and Sean should be reunited at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. If everything went according to plan, father and son would immediately board another flight out of Brazil.
Our prayers are definitely with them. We're praying for them on this layover. Okay.
Sean's Brazilian family, however, was not conceding defeat. Sean's mother had married a prominent attorney who ironically specializes in international family law. The family quickly filed an appeal. And Sean's Brazilian uncle spoke out, saying David was nothing but a stranger to Sean. Then Tuesday night, 17 hours before the scheduled handover, devastating news. A Brazilian Supreme Court justice abruptly suspended the ruling, ordering Sean be sent home.
I don't know what this Supreme Court judge is thinking. He didn't give an explanation.
How does a person who's lost so much absorb another blow? We were with David as the news was just sinking in.
This is the 10th, 11th time I'm down here, and again, I just get dealt this terrible blow. It's incomprehensible. It's to the point of obscene. It's sick.
David's hotel room was filled with toys and goodies he'd brought to celebrate the reunion. Now he just wanted a few minutes with his son.
I'm just going to go there, look him in the eye, and tell him I love him, and do the best I can with the situation at hand.
But then, a pleasant surprise. He was allowed 2 full hours with Sean and promised more time the next day.
He's got a little sense of humor. He'll crack a little joke or make a little face or something. Wants to laugh, wants to be happy like any child.
Then it was another international flight home after another draining trip.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flight deck, good morning, bonjour.
In Washington, David's friends and advocates are talking tough. This bitter fight between two families threatening the relationship between two nations.
Enough is enough, Mr. Speaker.
U.S. Congressman Chris Smith of New Jersey is pushing for trade sanctions against Brazil.
I think we have to say, okay, you're going to play that game, which is a very dangerous and cruel game, with families. We will penalize you.
Secretary of State Hillary Clinton spoke out on Friday.
We will continue to support Mr. Goldman and to urge the Brazilian government and judiciary to release Sean and enable him to return to his father.
The case is now in the hands of the Brazilian Supreme Court, which could issue a ruling later this week. Among its many options, the court could uphold the order to bring Sean home or send the case back to court for more appeals. David arrived at his New Jersey home early Friday morning, walking through the front door without his son. Inside, he was greeted by a phone message from an anonymous well-wisher.
I feel so bad for what's going on, and I just wanted to let you know that our prayers and our thoughts are with you.
That's your final message. Much appreciated, of course.
The support is comforting, but imagine the joy if he had been greeted instead with words of congratulations, welcoming Sean home.
Once we are together back here, we will both be free. We will be out of this hell that we've been trapped in for 5 years.
You'll find more about David Goldman's battle on our website. Just log on to dateline.msnbc.com.